Hey guys, so I wanted to come today just kind of give a little bit of encouragement, just kind of talk about what's worked for me when growing my accounting business. So I don't know exactly if you know my story, but when I was first getting started, I had tried a number of different like online business models. So I had tried things like eBay, Amazon FBA. I tried having like a social media marketing agency. I tried being like a cold caller. I was like an online personal trainer. Like I even had like a mobile food. It wasn't a delivery service. It was more like a meal prep service. I was throwing everything at the wall to see if like I get some things to stick. And the one thing that did start working a little bit was like online like e-commerce, like eBay, like Amazon, and I was making okay money. I was making like two, maybe 3 grand a month, like profit, like max. And what started happening was I wanted to scale. I wanted to grow and like reach 6 figures in that business and like eventually get to 7 figures. And I started, going after products that didn't have very much profit margin. I started bringing on like a small team. I started advertising with it, and very quickly I went from making 3 grand a month to like losing like 3 grand a month every single month for like a year. And like it was so it was so discouraging. And it was discouraging because I had put a plan in motion and it didn't work the way I thought. Like I started getting like chest pains and like my left chest, and it was just like I thought I was having a heart attack. I was like so stressed out. It was just such an acute amount of stress that, man, it was kind of like, man, you're failing. And I ended up having to go and go back and get a job, because like when I was making the 3 grand a month, I was like, okay, cool, I can do this thing. I don't need a job. I can make this thing work, and I'm gonna be an entrepreneur, and like it's gonna work, right? But then I ended up having to go back to get a job, because I mean, I don't know about you, but I didn't have the kind of savings needed to lose 3 grand a month every month until I figured it out. After about 10 months of that, it was like $30,000 I had lost. And it was just be in the job, and like I don't know. For me, it just kind of felt like I was just kind of in this rat race, right? And it wasn't. Not, I don't mean to say like in a mean way, like people have a job are bad. It was just more of like I felt like I could do more, because I had tasted a little bit of online success. I tasted kind of that like promised land. Like maybe you've started a business and you taste that, or maybe you've worked from home during the 2020 and 2021 kind of situation that we were in, right? And like you've tasted, there's more out there for you. Like that's kind of where I was. On top of that, like everyone knew that I had started a business. They'd all seen my eBay store. Everyone knew me as like the online business guy. It's like, wait, how's eBay going? And every single time that I'd run into an old friend, they'd be like, how's eBay going? I had to shut it down, and like it was always explaining like why things didn't work out. And it was so painful every single time, because it was just like it was a constant reminder of my failure. And like I don't know, it was very, very embarrassing, It was very embarrassing. Um, yeah, to kind of say the least, right? It's just I don't know. I would remember every time I would like see someone, like when I would go to church, and I would see people. I would like find the longest way to avoid talking to them, because I didn't want to talk about my business, and it was a very, very kind of low point. And then I started doing like more like accounting and bookkeeping, because that's what my field was, accounting and bookkeeping. That's what I got my degree in, and it was just natural. But I didn't think that I could actually do it as a business. It was kind of like just this thing I do for work, and like it's work. So every time I'm doing it, I feel like I'm like at my 9 to 5. But I saw I don't know exactly how I found it, but I think it was either like an advertisement online, or like one of my teachers or somebody told me that you could like start a business like that. And I was like, I thought all you could do was like taxes, right? So like all it was a tax business, like, well, that's a seasonal business, and it's like June, so I have to wait another 6 months to start that. You know what I mean? Like that isn't feasible for me. And someone's like, well, no, you could do monthly accounting work. I was like, what? I was like, but then like one they want me in their office, like how could I even do that? I have a job. I can't work in someone's office, at the same time I have the job, right? Because I can't be in two places at one time. Like, no, dude, you can do it virtually. I was like, what? So then I I kind of resisted it for about like a month, 'cause I was like, if I do that, I'm going to learn how to do like consultation calls. I'm going to learn how to do sales. I'm like, I don't like doing sales, man, because like you face all this rejection. It's annoying. And it's just, but I did it. I tried it. The one thing that I learned from trying other business models was like, don't go and try it without like doing like a coach or like buying a course, because like I tried to do like in the beginning the eBay without like a coach, and like that was doing okay, right? I was making like $500 a month maybe, but like once I got the coach, then that's when I like got to the $3,000 a month. It was my coach had told me not to scale the way that I did, but I ignored him. You know what I mean? And like, but the one thing I remembered was like, when you have someone that knows what they're doing, you shortcut a lot of these challenges and like a lot of the pitfalls, and it causes you to be able to move towards your goals a lot faster. And that was like the one thing that I really wanted to do. So what I started doing was every month for about 8 months, I would buy like a course I thought could help me. Now, back in 2015 when I started my accounting business, there weren't a lot of courses that were designed for like an all-in-one solution. So it'd be like how to do bookkeeping, or it'd be like a random sales course, like how to sell used cars, or how to do marketing for like digital marketing for like local businesses, or how to win clients, or how to retain clients, or like what, or how to do an onboarding process. So I had to keep how to hire staff accountants, like how to hire just people in general. So I had to buy one, buy two, buy three, buy four, buy five. And like these courses were number between like there was a course for $3,000, a course for $5,000. The one that did the best for me was like $7,800. Then I spent like $18,000 on another course. It's just like I just bought a bunch of courses until it was statistically improbable that I couldn't make money from the number of courses that I bought. And like that's when things really started to go. And like it wasn't like this overnight thing, right? Like my first it kind of was, but it kind of wasn't the way most people think, right? Because it's like the way that you grow an accounting and bookkeeping business, like if you're doing it correctly, it's not that you get 1 million clients. It's that you get like one client that's like 2,000 a month, another one's like 3,000 a month, another that's like 500, right? It's like you get a number of clients, but your revenue is going up, but your number of clients is not necessarily skyrocketing, right? So like I was expecting I would just get a bunch of clients for like $300 a month, right? And like that's how I go and get to 5-10 grand a month. So I'd have 30 clients pay me like $350 a month, right? But it was like, no. So like the first client we got was like a $9,000 a month client. And like that was more of like a virtual like consulting or virtual accounting like client for like it was like a larger company. So they could afford to pay us like $9 grand a month. And then that was cool because like that one lasted about let's say about 8 months. So like our first client was like that. But then we still had to like learn how to go and get like average clients. So like $1,000 a month, $500 a month, $2,000 a month, right? So like the $9,000 clients was enough to kind of give us like cash flow we needed in order to kind of like survive like being a business owner full time, right? Because I like once I started getting the $9 grand a month client, I left. Like just being completely honest with you, like I think I like had the $9 grand a month client for about 2 months while I still had my job, and we just left after that. But then it was like the dilemma of, okay, so we have this giant client, so now we just go get like the small clients. And like that was actually a job in itself, learning how to do that, right? Implementing all the stuff that we had learned. But once we did that, like the income started going up like linearly, right? And then not counting that $9,000 a month client, it took us about 15 months to get to like 15 grand a month, like truly get to 15 grand a month. So not like having like one client that's like 15 grand a month, but having a stable of clients so that once that $9,000 per month client like was done, then we were able to still have like 15 grand a month in sales. And it was very interesting because like once that happened, like my life really changed. Like it was number one, it was like the confidence in myself, right? Because like when I had failed in the businesses and like when I was in my job, I didn't really feel like I was like making the progress in my life that I wanted to. Like, yeah, I could, maybe stay in the job and just be like miserable for like the next 15, 20 years, right? But, I would always be like remembering the fact that I had failed at something. And like, for a lot of people, like if you stack up too many failures, it's very, very like demoralizing, right? And it makes it harder for you to like want to go out and do like bigger things in the future. So, luckily for me, I did what I had to do. I had to invest in courses. I had to like put myself out there. I had to learn how to do sales and marketing, but dude, it was the best decision. And then like once we really got it up, like for the first year, I didn't really travel that much for like the first like year, just because like, I was so locked in. Like I had to make sure this was like, I had to make sure this was certain. You know, I couldn't afford to kind of like get a little bit of progress, take my foot off the gas, go on vacation, spend all the money. Because like there was in my mind, I always thought I was gonna stop. I thought, like, okay, all my clients are gonna leave me at the same time. I'm not gonna be able to do this thing. So like I had to make sure that if I'm going to go and push this thing, like I secure this thing. Like I need to secure my future. Like I was so like I was so like scared. I was like in fear mode, man. I was so afraid. You know, but once there was like a specific moment in time where it's like when I kind of looked down at my income and it's like I had collected like 200K, right? And it was just like, oh, that's so much more than what I made in like, you know, in a year in my corporate job. And I was like, okay, so I think that, you know, as long as I keep my expenses relatively the same, I don't like go buy like a bunch of random stuff, I'm good. So I started going on like some more vacations, right? And like I don't know if you guys ever saw I have like a video on my channel that kind of breaks down like, you know, what the journey was like in a little bit more detail. I kind of showed my income and I showed some of the different places I traveled. Like I went to Puerto Rico, I went to Mexico, I went to London, um, I traveled the United States, just going to like Vegas, Miami, Tampa, the Carolinas, um, and yeah, man, like it was fun, you know. I learned a lot. I got to travel, and the real thing that I liked about it too was the fact that I finally had something that I could do and rely on to both support me, support my family, and like it's something I could do for the rest of my career. Now, like, because there's gonna come a time to where like you don't really need money anymore, but you still want to have some sort of like meaningful work, right? And like, cause like I don't know about you, but like for me, I wasn't necessarily trying to get rich, right? I wasn't trying to like make like $5 million in a year. I was just trying to like have a really successful six-figure business that was more of like a lifestyle business that would support my lifestyle and like the stuff that I want to do outside of it. So like if I didn't want to work for a month, I didn't have to. If I wanted to go to like a conference, I didn't have to like talk to anybody, like get time off. It was just I could do what I wanted, just have like that freedom to be able to go, right? Without having my business be stressful. Like my business is very, very peaceful. I was telling, I went out to lunch with a credit. It was like I think she does like credit repair or something like that, and like we were talking. It's like, man, you know, with the way that my business are structured, I really never have to retire. Like, there's gonna come a time where I'll have to, like, I'll be probably like 75, 70 years old. I'll be like, you know, can't think as fast what I used to, right? But with how I've structured things, with like our staff accounts, with my controller, with the way that we even run the mentorship program, right? Because we have two businesses, right? We have the accounting firm and we have like the mentorship program. They're basically one, but just for simplicity's sake, I consider them like two for like when I'm talking to other people. Like both of those businesses are so lean and like they just produce cash flow, man. Cash flow without necessarily having to spend a lot of time in the game. Because like if you really think about it, like the only marketing that I really have to do. So like with our accounting firm, it's just referral based at this point. That's what we teach our students in our programs, like how to build a very strong stream of referral partners, so that you don't have to actually be like hunting all the time. And then for the mentorship program, all I do is just like go on YouTube and just like talk and like just kind of tell like, you know, the student success and show what's kind of happening. And then people want to work with us, you know? So it's like from a time point perspective, it's one of the best like mixing a model, which is why I always teach people in our program where it's like, you know, get your recurring revenue up to like a certain point to where you can at least save like $5,000 to $10,000 a month, like on top of your living expenses. Then if you want to kind of take it into overgear and just like, you know, maybe make an extra 5-10K per month, you do some sort of consulting service, whether that's, you know, tax planning, whether that's just doing cleanups, whether that's doing, when I say like consulting, it's more like you have some sort of package based service to where you can like, you know, sell something for like $5,000 a piece, right? Because then you can just use that money, go on vacation, do whatever you want, and like just kind of live life. So that's really like the place and like the way that we like to think about this stuff, you know. But yeah, man, you know, it's hard in the beginning, but it's definitely worth it. That's one thing I've learned. Like it's hard in the beginning. It's like tricky. It's like confusing, and it's like it's not that it's hard from like a tactical standpoint. It's emotionally challenging. Like when you have that first rejection, or when a person says they're gonna sign up with you and they don't sign up with you. Like that can be emotionally draining. It's like, is this thing gonna work? Am I gonna be able to do this? Am I even cut out to be an entrepreneur? That was a phrase I used to think of a lot. I was like, maybe I'm just not cut out to be an entrepreneur, man. Like maybe I just can't do that. And it was like the more times that I would kind of like, get a little bit of success, then that voice would get quieter and quieter and quieter. And then pretty soon it was like there was nothing but positivity. And it was like track record, right? If one thing to know, like if you ever have like confidence challenges, just start stacking up success. And then it's like you literally can't think about the fear because you have so much logical proof that you can do what you think that you can do, right? And that's when life just takes off, man. And that's what I want for you. That's why I make this YouTube video. That's why I make this video, right? Just to encourage you and just say, hey, man, you can do what you want to do. So, and if you want some help growing your business, like maybe you've been trying to start this business or maybe you're thinking about trying to start the business, but it's just overwhelming how many different things are in front of you that you don't really know. A lot of pitfalls, tricks, turns, corners. And if you want some help, you just want to be able to go and reach your goal in the shortest period of time so you don't have to make all like the mistakes that cause most people to fail. Just like click the link inside the description, book a call with myself, see if I can help you on the call, I'm here to help people. I can't help everybody, right? We do have like a certain amount of clients we take on each month. Like maximum we take on is about 10 per month, right? Because I want to make sure it's small. So like while there's some spots available for this month, go ahead and click the link, see if there's a good fit, see if there's some spots available, and yeah, let's see if we can work together to go reach your goals. There's no point in like suffering in silence or suffering on your own. Just get the program, attack, and let's go. Okay? I'll talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your day. Take it easy, and remember, you can do this. I'm here for you. I'm rooting for you, and I'm always watching from afar. I'll talk to you soon, okay?